Hi, welcome to BariNation, where we support the bariatric community with humor, humility, and honesty.
You've just tuned into a podcast that welcomes you into a community, a resource center, and a safe place that powers your journey towards personal wellness.
Our goal is you leave us today feeling hopeful, inspired, and ready to live your best bariatric life.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the BariNation Podcast. Today, Natalie and I are excited to have a very important conversation with each other and with you. It is summertime, and Natalie found some really interesting statistics on what women in particular think about their body.
I did. It was pretty eye-opening. I was just reading them to April, and we were both like dumbfounded because it was pretty intense about, and this article is from NIDA, and it was geared towards women. However, I think April and I are both seeing how this can cross over into bariatrics and those of us who have gone through major weight loss or are going through major weight loss. So I am just really excited to have this conversation. April knows, longtime listeners know, I've had a lot of pretty vocal journeys with body neutrality and body positivity and all of that stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yep. And this whole week in BariNation, if you're listening to this podcast when it first drops, we are dedicating the entire week to learn about body neutrality. And really, we're talking about summer bodies. We often say, like, our kind of mantra in BariNation is, if you have a body, it's a summer body. But we realize it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to really be okay with that, or to kind of push beyond your comfort zones. Because embracing our body, loving our body can just be really challenging. It's hard to do, especially when we have been through so much physical change. Mm-hmm. So if you have a body, this conversation is for you. So now let's dive into the stats. What are they saying about body love or appreciation?
Okay, so I just want to start off as this article does. So I'm quoting directly from the article. Body neutrality does not have a definition. So for us, as we go into this episode, I just want us to be on the same playing field. The two definitions of body and neutrality. Body is just our physical structure. So the vessel that we are currently in is our body. Neutrality is a state of not supporting either side of a conflict or disagreement. So we're in the middle. It's just is what it is. So if we combine the two, NIDA says body neutrality is not supporting the hatred of our vessel, so our physical bodies, or the love and adoration of our vessel. So we're not hating it. We're not loving it. It just kind of is what it is.
It is what it is, which is a challenging place to get to, because the numbers that you found now about the percentage of people who don't like their body or they say something negative about their body is astronomical. So what are those numbers?
Okay, buckle up. So it goes into talking about weight bias and how culture and society today can affect the way that we think about our bodies. Again, this is geared towards women. I guess that's who they targeted with this article. However, they said over 90% of women dislike their bodies. 9 in 10.
Oh my God.
Dislike their bodies.
Okay.
And this one is a big one. 97% of women have an I hate my body moment every day.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Yeah. That is so much negative self-talk that we're doing every single day.
Every day. And when I read that, I was like, no way. And then I really sat and thought about it, and I went, yeah. I mean, even the little fleeting thoughts, right, count.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Percentage.
Yep. Yes. And I know before surgery, I almost disassociated from my body because I would look at myself in the mirror, but I would only look from like my neck up. You know, it was just not something that I was like, nope, I'm just not even going there, because I knew I just didn't like what I saw. And I would also have to agree with those thoughts. I think there's fewer days now that I have a negative thought about my body, but I still have them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am with you on the disassociating part. I would see a picture of me and I'd be like, who is that?
Yes. Right?
Because I didn't know what my body looked like.
Yes. No, because it was just it was not a good feeling. I don't even know if I could put a word on it. It was just not a good feeling. And, before surgery, my family, we have a place on a lake, and I spent my summers in bathing suits. And I think I always knew that my body was just larger, but I didn't want that to stop me from having fun or engaging with that. And really, I think that's what we're hoping we can all leave this conversation with. If we let this negative self-talk hold us back from doing things in life that we really want to do, or having fun with our kids, with our nieces, with our nephews, with our friends, then it's impacting our lives in more ways than we can really count. And we can do work every single day to get us closer to this body neutrality, endpoint, so that we're just engaging in life a little bit more and not letting our body dictate or control what we do or don't do in life.
Exactly.
So now, what have been some things that you have done to help you get more to this place of body neutrality?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and this is something I learned from you, April, actually, is, and you always say not in a creepy way, but like touching my body, right?
Yes.
Like, oh, this is my vessel, right? If we're going off of what Nita says, like, this is me. This is what my jiggly thighs feel like, or this is what my shoulders feel like, or like we all have the bat wings, right? Like, what these feel like, and just kind of bringing myself back into my body. Like you said, I think it's easy for anyone who has been in a larger body to get into that disassociative mindset and just like continue not noticing or acknowledging our bodies. And so I think I really do try to practice that daily of like, this is how my body feels today. But I think the other major thing that I have done is catching, right? Laura Grabo says, catch it, check it, change it. Catching those negative thoughts, checking it and being like, is that true? Am I a bump on a log, if we want to take that analogy? And oftentimes it's not, right? So I change it into like, my body is, I will always have a belly. Always. It's how my body is. I've had it when I was, really, really thin. I've had it when I was really, really large. I just will always have a belly. And it's my least favorite. I can say that. Like, it's my least favorite part of my body. But it also is what it is. And I can't change it immediately. So I think for me, like getting dressed every day, like especially having to work in an office now, I have to put on like real clothes. I can't just put on biker shorts and a t-shirt. And being like, oh, I hate my belly. And it's like, okay, yeah, you may not like it, but like, it is what it is. And we're going to dress it and move about our day. Like, we're not going to let it deter us from having a good day, or like, that's not a big enough reason to have a bad day.
No. And especially I appreciate and I echo what you said. When I have noticed these negative thoughts are creeping into my head about my body, I just ask myself a question. Is this something you can change immediately, right here and right now? The answer is no, right? No, I can't change this thing that I am not loving necessarily about my body right now. But what I can do is focus on the things that I do appreciate. I can work on just saying, you know what, this is what it is. And I am either going to live a life full of joy, or I'm going to live a life where I'm hating on myself. And I don't want to do that. I've done that for too many years. I've done that for decades, almost my entire life. I'd like to try a new way of doing this. So exactly what you said, catching those thoughts in the moment, asking myself, is this something I can change right now? No. Can I say one thing that I like about my body to myself? Can I just balance out that negative thought with a more neutral one? Yes. And then can I dress my body or can I move my body in a way that brings me joy, that helps me feel strong, powerful, capable? And the answer is almost always yes, right? So when I'm having those days that I'm like, I am just not feeling it. And now it's summer. I literally actually have a bathing suit on as we're recording this right now. If I put on a bathing suit and I look at myself and I say, I just don't like the way that I look in this bathing suit. Okay, I'm going to go put on a bathing suit that I know I at least will look at myself and go, great, bathing suit. Now I'm going to move on with my day. I give myself permission to just be like, I'm not feeling good in this outfit, bathing suit, whatever. I'm going to change into something that I know I feel good in. And I'm going to call it a day. That's how I've been able to get to this, not body love, but acceptance and neutrality.
Yeah. And something my therapist brought up a while ago, like 4 years ago, is when you live in that kind of neutral state, it's a lot easier to get to the like body love part, because you're not all the way down at that negative space.
Yes.
So finding the joys and like the, oh, I look good. Like it's a lot easier because it's a little bit, it's like a hop instead of like a jump. So
yes. Yep. And really, I think what we both hope you are getting from this episode is to know that it's okay if you're not feeling great about your body. But part of the work of weight loss surgery, and I'm saying that in quotes, right, is this work. It's having these conversations with ourselves. It's sharing these things in community. And it's trying to shift our thoughts just a little bit when we notice them. And we hope that we're an example for you. We are not 100% body neutral all the time, but we have drastically changed how both of us talk to our bodies and to ourselves. And it's been really helpful. And I know that now both of us are accessing more of our life with joy and just living more of our life with joy. We're not letting the things that we think about our bodies hold us back from doing things that are joyful for us.
We deserve it. I say it a lot. It doesn't matter what size, shape, or part of the journey you're on, your body deserves to feel the sun. It deserves to feel the water. It deserves to be comfortable, however that looks for you. And that's something I have to, especially during the summer months, remind myself of every single day. I deserve to feel the sun on my shoulders. I deserve to feel my belly. I mean, Jason talked about the first time going shirtless, right, at the beach. And it's like, my belly deserves to see the sun and feel the ocean water and all of that. So just know that you deserve it regardless of size or weight or any of that.
Yep. Well, friends, we hope you're leaving here with a little bit of inspiration. If you heard something or saw something that you want to try, let us know. Or if this conversation was helpful, absolutely let us know by leaving us a comment. Nat and I are actually going to do a little bonus episode here where we're going to talk through the 5 steps that we can take to find that body neutrality. So if you're a member of the community, if you support the podcast, you're going to get access to that. But we'll make sure we link this article in the show notes. So if you would like to reference it yourself, it'll just be down there. All right, friends, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you in the nation soon.
Bye, guys.
That wraps up another empowering episode of the BariNation Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, keep the conversation going by joining the BariNation membership community, where you can attend live support events, access on-demand resources, and find a caring community.
Join us at barination.mn.co. If you found this podcast valuable, help us produce it by becoming a $5 monthly supporter at BariNationPodcast.com.
And just remember, at the end of the day, you've got this, we've got you, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.